welcome to episode 2 of Pour It Out. How you doing?
Good. We survived the first week.
We got through the first week. It's not raining today either.
We just got Dan singing in the background, so it's fine.
Doing his curly locks. And,
and while he moves beer into the cold room after another canning day.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, man. Here we are. Episode 2, new month, April.
Yeah, April. Did you see any good April Fool's Day?
I did. I've got one linked in to talk about later on.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Which I think is pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. There was a cool one out of shit towns of Australia as well. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I didn't
Tugga Bugger. Yeah. It's the glitter capital of the world.
Yeah, no, I got caught out on a few of them, but I've got some ideas for next year, which I obviously won't talk about now.
Yeah, save it up.
It's one of those things where you go, I've been wanting to do it for years, but you just never end up with time. So I'll probably do them soon and then just park them and then bring them out for next year. So,
It's I remember there was a great one up at Underwater World once on the Sunshine Coast that CFM did, and they said it had sprung a leak, and if everyone could come down with a bucket to help catch the water to put back in and form a chain, and all these people went down there to do it.
Oh, so funny.
Some people.
Anyway.
Mate, quick one. I'll just shout out to our sponsors. Bintani, Craft Punks Canning, Convoy Kegs, Railings Labels and Stickers, and of course, Hiker Brewing. It's where we are today. It's where we're recording, drinking a beer while we're watching Dan adjust some seats and tables. But yeah, mate, cheers.
Cheers.
It's good to catch up again. Episode 2.
Yep. So any update on your upcoming voyage down northern New South Wales?
It's a big update, and it's called the weather.
Oh.
So apparently the dates that we're going down there, it's just going to be hit by this massive low. Could lead to flash flooding and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, luckily we're travelling where it all floods quite a lot.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
well,
down
if
there.
You get stuck in a brewery, it's probably worst places to be.
It's going to be great footage for Joel, Joel and I.
Yeah.
Just sitting in the water, calling for help. But if it's flooded, forget it. We're not driving through any water. Don't worry about that. But we'll see how we go. But other than that, no, there's no real updates as yet. Joel's panicking. He's, what sort of snacks are we going to buy for the road? And I'm like, Minties, mate. I'm driving and you're peeling Minties and handing them to me like a good wife.
You can no longer get fantails, so they're all.
That's right.
They're all
that's
gone. Yeah, that's a shame. They used to be like a staple when I was a kid.
That's right. Same.
But
in the Tupperware container.
Yeah. We'll be going to the dentist to get some fillings.
You think about it now, when you used to bend them over your teeth as a kid to look like you had dentures and whatever, and just screwing with them. Yeah. So that's where we're at with that. It's looking forward to it. This Thursday we start our trek down.
Oh, that quick?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. I was like, oh shit, it is that quick.
Well, it has. April has come around fairly quickly. So
third of the year.
Yeah, third of the year already gone. So it's the rest of the year.
Quarter. We're into the.
We're
into the last bit of the third. Yeah.
So, but no. And what's been happening down at Ballistic? You got anything interesting in tank? Or?
Man, we're busy. We just we threw our Gabs beer down last week for Noisy Miner out at Springfield, and I think we might have had to pull a couple of our beers just with some staffing issues and production time. We're just not going to get all the 3 beers in that we wanted to get. So unfortunately, we've had to pull a couple. Yeah. But it is what it is, right? Customers come first, and you got to pay the bills, and the beers that we need to brew have to come out. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, the joys of production planning. It's always fun. We're having a bit of a challenge at the moment here with a couple of beers slightly over carb. So I tried to can this morning, and sort of had to pull that, and we're now desperately trying to get them right, so because we've got we're brewing Thursday, Friday, so day 2 contract brews, and then our Gabs beer on Saturday with the Babs boys and girls. So that'll be good. We don't normally brew on a Saturday, but just given home brewers have got real jobs, we thought we'd do it on Saturday so they can be involved
And have a few beers.
Yeah, have a few beers and start the month off in a strong position with sales. So
yeah, nice. Yeah. All right, so let's get into some of the news we got here. AI beers. So this was an article that I found on New Scientist about AI that is flavour predicting. So it's not the AI ones that we've seen in the past that do the recipe development and that sort of thing. It's the flavour development based on chemical and perceptual data on 250 Belgian beers. So
it's interesting.
Annalise and Jimmy, if you can... if you need an AI, there's one for you.
No, but I found what was interesting in the article was it's also around trying to make non-alc beers taste better. So that's interesting because I'm not a massive fan of non-alc beer. You know, a lot of them are like quite wordy.
I'm not a fan of them at all.
But you know, if there's one that actually tasted, you know, not too bad, I probably would partake. Particularly, it's always good, like particularly when I'm working behind the bar. I always feel like sort of, you know, like when talking to someone, I always sort of pour myself like a half pot or something like that. But it'd be good sometimes just like to have a non-alc. So yeah, I thought that was interesting that if it could actually help improve the taste of non-alc beers would be good. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
I found the article that I haven't included in here, but there's a brewery over in the States, Shoutout, I think it is, that has a new non-alc technology that they're using to make all of their proper core range beers non-alcoholic and taste exactly the same, just without alcohol in it. And it supposedly tastes exactly the same. They've got this new pasteurisation process that they use.
Interesting.
So it's pretty good from what I can gather. Don't know how it tastes, obviously. We don't see a lot of Shoutout over here anymore. I used to see it in First Choice every now and again, but we also wouldn't be going hunting for a non-alcoholic Shoutout.
Yeah. if we're going to buy a beer, I'm going to buy a beer.
Especially from the US, paying all that import.
Been like, and that's not disparaging non-alc, but you know, it's just not my cup of tea, unfortunately.
No, if I'm having non-alc, I
prefer to have a sparkling water, not have the calories.
Yep. So I've been drinking a lot of tea actually. When I went to Saudi Arabia, about 12, 13 years ago now, I drank a lot of tea over there, and because it's a dry country, you can't take out any alcohol, and because of that, I drank a lot of tea. There was Ramadan at the time, and I was drinking tea up the wazoo. They had this really nice raspberry one that I was drinking. There was mint and something else that I enjoyed. And I've come back, and the teas that we have here, no matter even if I go to all the tea shops and everything, I just can't find the ones that were like that. And I don't know whether it's because I just didn't have beers for 3 or 4 days. My taste buds are like, I need something.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like Ted Lasso, and you know, I don't know whether you've ever seen that show on Apple TV, but yeah, he calls it muddy water. So it's so true. Yeah, I just can't cop tea. So anyway.
Yeah.
What about the next article in regards to there's a warning to English drinking fans about German beers. So that's obviously for the Euro 2024?
That's right, yeah. So all the football fans that are going to Germany who are used to drinking English strength beers, that some German beers are a little bit stronger, and to be aware of that.
Hooliganism will reign supreme. So
do you reckon that the English people will care? No, the fans are just
that was just like that's just crazy. Like, and the whole thing is that, you know, that particularly in the Europe and like the EU, well, the UK's out of it now, but you know, but people travel a lot now, so I think people know, and also they're there for a good time, so it's going to be just going to be a big party and lots of you know boring little draws for the football.
I think you know how tipsy you're getting, regardless of the strength of the beers or whatever. You know how tipsy you're getting as you drink them. Like, you can feel it in yourself. Like, you might have 2 and you'll be like, this isn't what I normally feel like after 2 beers. What is this beer? And if you go and look sometimes, I remember I did it once at a Armageddon.
Yep.
And I bought 4 beers, and I was reading the book, And instead of, I handed over the tickets. This is really embarrassing. This is when I was single, and I handed over all my tickets to pay, and she gave me like a lot of tickets back.
Yeah.
Because I was reading the things, and I was like, okay. She gave me all these tickets back, and in my stupid single male brain, I went, no, she likes me. So she gave me all the tickets back. She gave me a discount, and it wasn't until I sat down and tasted one of these beers, which I'll never forget. It was Evil Twin Lil Bro, which was like 12.9%. That I realised that they weren't the prices of the tickets. That was the ABVs that I'd ordered. And the chick behind the bar didn't like me at all. She just thought I was an idiot, drinking very strong beers at 10 a.m. when they first opened.
No, it will be interesting though, because I'm off to Munich in a couple of weeks, or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. What are you doing over there? You're going on a run?
Yeah, run.
Slash marathon?
Drinking, going to Czech Republic, Belgium.
Yeah.
Macella beer celebration. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Belgium, I watched. I love cycling, like not doing it but watching it. And the Tour of Flanders was on over the weekend, and it was an amazing race. I don't know if anyone else watches cycling. It's the same as Formula One. I watch it for the strategies and all of that sort of thing that went on. And the Tour of Flanders this year was excellent. There was a lot of rain in the last 3 hours. It made going up the cobbles very difficult, very muddy. But the whole race overall was just fascinating, and the strategy, the way the teams worked and how they tried to push riders forward, and
nice.
Yeah, it was excellent. I love Tour de France is coming up. There's a new one. There's another one.
So you love sport, don't you? But like,
just not doing it.
Just not doing it.
No, I do like doing it, but there's just some that I'm better at than others.
Okay, gotcha.
Cycling is not one of them, but rollerblading, I love rollerblading. Yeah, basketball, because we got our competition, Ballistic versus Ether, on the 21st of this month. Yeah. And Mark, if you're listening, going down, mate. You too, Dave, and whoever else you bring in on that Sunday.
If you need me to come, because like I was too scared to like invite Hiker.
We'd invite Hiker, but you've got 2 employees and it's 3-on-3 competition.
And someone needs to run the tap room.
That's right. Sometimes.
Moot point. That's all right.
It's great.
What about the next topic?
So I saw this today. It's New Zealand wineries to get a tasting license where breweries and distilleries can't. So
what's a tasting license?
So the minister over there, there's wineries that don't have a tasting room, but they're a little winery, and people come on to buy their wines, obviously, and they want to know if they taste good. But at the moment, legally, they're not allowed to let them have a taste or anything. They can have a taste, but they can't charge for it.
Yeah.
So what they want to be able to do is to be able to charge for the wine tasting, so that people can, taste a few of them.
Yep.
Because it costs you money, right, to open a bottle, open a can, open all these things. Breweries want the same deal. And interestingly, Lion Nathan over in New Zealand have stood up and said we want breweries and distilleries to be included on the bill. It's interesting because I don't know whether they're just trying to like placate the breweries or whatnot, but it's one of those things that it's going through. The bill was just put through for the wine, and the minister who's putting it through saying no, it's only wine, I don't want to get into the breweries and distilleries, but he wants to do the wine because it's a great tourist attraction thing. And I would have to argue that brewing and beer over in New Zealand is a huge tourist draw.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah,
there's some fantastic beers over there, beer events and breweries.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm super keen to get to New Zealand in the next year or so, just because I've always wanted to go and taste some of their beers, fresh from the brewery. Like you get some of them here, but they could be a bit old or not refrigerated.
Last year when Epic were going to close, my son lives in Auckland and he goes to a beer bar in Auckland. I think it's 10 Ton that he goes to down at the wharf there in Auckland, and he loves Hop Zombie, and the bartender would always say, mate, I've got some fresh Hop Zombie in, and he'd always text me and say, Dad, I'm drinking a fresh pint of Hop Zombie, and I'm like, hey, you little bastard. But
he's not that little.
No, he's not that little. No, he's bigger than me. No, he's 26. Yeah, he's an old man. Yeah. But yeah, so he's all on the beer game over there too, and he keeps messaging me and telling me things that are going.
Yeah.
But yeah, this license thing is interesting, and the breweries and distilleries are up in arms saying, hey, we want to be included as well. It still costs us money, and we're a tourist draw as well, which I think is fair.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, and I think, like the Sunny Coast has been quite proactive because they went to. Did they have a stand at Birvana? Like, was it Birvana?
I think they did. Yeah,
They
took
actually got together and actually did that. So,
yep.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
was
it Ten Toes and Moffat and Torella? Maybe that went over.
Yeah, and there's a few of them.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I reckon that type of stuff is where it's at. Like promoting, like going to, beer fans in different countries and promoting a region rather than a specific brewery. I think that's really a smart approach.
Well, where are some of the best hops come out of in the last couple of years too? Like New Zealand is smashing it.
It is.
New Zealand hops are great, fantastic. So, shout out to Clayton's hops too. I love the hops. They've had a taste of some of their beers.
Yeah.
Some of their hops that were used in beers, rather. Yeah.
So the next one is one that I put on the show notes: self-poured tap rooms, creating a new customer experience. So I'm not a massive fan of this concept.
Have you been to Tippler's Tap?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's sort of, I pour beers myself all the time, so I get it. But no, I like the personal interaction, but also sort of get, particularly probably because it's it's an American article. Like, when you go to America, it's plus tax plus tip. So like by actually having self-serve options, it's actually removing the tipping required. Was my initial thought, because I know, like talking to a few Americans that I know.
Yeah, but a lot of that tipping culture in the US also is changing. They're starting to look at the rest of the world and say, hang on a minute, the cost of living is going up, and if people aren't coming out into your restaurant and you're expecting me to serve at this low rate, I think it's going to be a very long change.
But
culture of tipping in America is huge.
Yeah, I think it's 99% of breweries are still low-paid workers.
Yep.
I think I know of one that actually pays cost of living.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think that's where the self-serve sort of, whether it's a novelty, I don't know. What's your thoughts?
My sister and her husband and 3 little kids are actually travelling Europe for this whole year, and way too many photos for us all in our family back here to watch, because my sister just takes too many and posts them all. But my brother-in-law actually sent me a photo in France the other week, in Marseille, I want to say, of a little French brewery. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this cough. A little French brewery that had self-pour taps, and they looked exactly the same as Tippler's Tap. Had the descriptions there in French and English of what the beers tasted like and all that, sort of how much it cost and what you'd expect from them. And he said that the bartenders over there loved it. It was easy for him. He's not drinking beer at the moment, and he's probably trying to fit into his soldier's uniform. They're going to Gallipoli for Anzac Day, but he was quite fascinated by it. He was like, "Oh, this is a new thing that's sort of happening." So it's.
Wonder how they get around RSA. I suppose they just got someone observing people.
I think an RSA too is a different concept in a lot of countries. But I'd see for tipplers, you can see it anyway. If you still need a glassy on the floor, you still need staff at the bar. It's just less staff. So you still need to have someone walking around and seeing people. You can hear people's conversations. If people are standing with the tips at the bar, it's their money.
Yeah.
If they're going to turn it on and being a dickhead, you're going to hear them. It's right next to the bar.
Yeah, and it's all cost per milliliter or however
That's
it works.
Right. Yeah.
But I think it may work then for, sort of craft beer bars or something like that, like tipplers. But I think for an actual brewery, I think, you want to talk to people.
I think so, yeah. I think in bars it's different.
Different than actually going to a brewery.
Because I used to have taps in the valley and up at Mooloolaba and a few other places, which is a similar concept. So, I don't know. I think there's a place for it. I know there's places in America that, like in the casinos and that, and they've got, 25, 30 taps in these big rooms, and you can just walk in and do your beer, and it doesn't matter what you want to get.
Yeah.
But that customer interaction, but then American service, they've also got the robot bartenders where they can make you a caipirinha or mojito or something as well without even talking to a person. So sometimes it's just about easy use. Like if you don't have to pay an employee.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You know.
there's so much money in hospitality staff, so...
Yeah. Yeah. The next one on the list. How craft beer turmoil is impacting supplier Bintani.
Yes.
Which I was really looking forward to this, listening to this one. Bintani is a sponsor of our podcast, obviously. For me, it was more with all the VAs that are going on at the moment. I've been saying it to a few people. When are the suppliers going to come out and say how they're dealing with this? Because it's affecting them massively. And not only does it affect them, it then affects all of their customers. If they need to change any trading terms or the way they get things delivered or the way you have to pay your invoices, all those sort of things. I thought it was a great interview and a great chat.
I thought it was really, really good, and it's something sort of, that I've been sort of keeping sort of very close eye on because of the number of VAs that have been happening, and we use a lot of the suppliers, like we're only small scale, but and they must be hurting, like they have to be, and even some of our trading terms have been squeezed a little bit, and it is what it is.
In the interview that they haven't changed any of their trading terms. They've just come down harsher on their actual terms themselves.
Yeah, and they were pretty loose. Like even when we started, Bintani was the only supplier that put us on terms straight away.
Yep.
So which we were very, very thankful for because we had no money.
But
we did pay their bills.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the other suppliers, it was no, we won't put you on terms until you've done 3 cash on delivery orders. So very thankful for Bintani to actually support us during the early days. They're such a great company, but you really feel for them, and also I really feel.
Could you run your business if bottle shops kept coming to you? Not that you guys sell to a lot of bottle shops. You guys have a very different model to a lot of breweries, but if your main thing was bottle shops and you're selling to them and they're going, oh, look, 10 cents on the dollar.
No way.
Like, how would you? You couldn't survive.
We wouldn't survive. Exactly. So it's I really feel for the suppliers. They're the silent victim in all of this. The ATO obviously is probably the biggest creditor for all of them so far.
Yep.
But there's been a lot of, and there's a lot of small businesses, even Rowling's down the road. They're only, they're about, I think there's Brad and Paul and a couple of staff. They're not a big company.
Steve, shout out to
Steve. They're not a big company.
No.
So anywhere where they're actually, got bad debts, it definitely impacts their business. So.
And I think too that whole episode, if anyone hasn't listened to it, show notes will be online, and you can listen to it. It's a really good episode because not only for me, he was quite positive about the industry. He still sees it as a future. There's still growth in it. They're investing heavily in their that malt, and hope to one day have that climate malt be all their malt.
All their malt, exactly.
Which to me was a really, really good. It was fulfilling, if that makes sense. It was just a really good support of the industry and saying, no, this is...
Yeah.
We're all going through tough times, but it'll change. Everything changes. It's all waves.
Exactly. It's all swings and roundabouts, as they say. So
that's right.
It'll bounce back. So we just need the economy to get a bit better, and we just need government to freeze excise and just support and sort of put us on par with the wineries with wet tax and the like.
Yeah.
So,
yep. Yeah. What's the next one, mate?
So 8 Wire Brewery in New Zealand's up for sale. That was a bit of a shock for me.
Yeah, me too. But then you read the article and they talk about, they've been doing this for 15 years. They've got a family. They want to do stuff. Opening a brewery makes it a little bit difficult. Especially in these times, they want to, if you've got kids, you want to give them a real good life. And if you're having to, rely on putting some staff off so that you can work the hours and save those wages, then it's taking your time out of your family side. You know that.
Yeah, totally.
Massively. So, and so does Dan, but Dan's not here, so screw him. We love you, Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
But yeah, I mean, it is a big commitment to own a brewery and to run it, and for that long, and especially if you've got a little family. Still dying.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I don't envy anyone. Like, you know, like I'm lucky in my position in life. You know, I've got 2 daughters. They've grown up.
Yep.
One sort of has become my mother and cooks me meals and tells me what to do. But, you know, and love you, Joe. You're my favourite eldest daughter.
Mate, they both tell you what to do.
Yeah, exactly. But I couldn't imagine, you know, like actually operating a brewery with young kids. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very lucky at my point in my life where,
You guys have got the career.
yeah,
and
they're growing
life
up, and I haven't got any ties to actually, you know, and make anyone feel guilty.
Yep.
So, or make me feel guilty.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for me, too, like it was just a bit of a surprise. Like 8 Wide, they're one of the breweries that we got quite a few of their beers over here, especially early on. To the point where if you didn't know they were from New Zealand, you'd think they were an Australian brewery and you'd be like, oh, where are these guys? Because they were so prevalent.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the sort of thing, like, and you know, that's, I suppose, just the current economic climate. Because, like, you know, my ideal, I'm 51.
Yep.
At 60, I'd like to sort of semi-retire.
Yeah.
Just come up and do, you know, beer quality checks.
Yep.
On a regular basis.
Nice.
But, you know, you want to sort of build the business so that you sort of make yourself redundant from the businesses. You know, that's my 10-year goal.
Yeah.
Whether
Dan
it'll
know
happen.
that?
Yeah. No, we've spoken openly about it. He's a lot younger than me, so.
Yeah,
but you know,
going.
like I'm quite happy to like semi-retire at 60. That's my goal. So it's always for me a 10-year plan. So.
Yep.
But that's. You know, but it just depends on the economic conditions at the time. So.
Yeah, you got to be able to work the business the way it needs to be worked at the time. And if it needs you to get in and, you know, put in the hard yards and a bit of elbow grease, it's what you got to do.
Yeah, and that's always the first few years, always the hardest. So that's why I got no hair. So it's great.
Excellent. Oh dear. Just another short one for me, and I did see it on, I think on Crafty Pint or somewhere. I just want to shout out to Bentspoke Brewing. They won 2 golds at the International Brewing Awards. So they got a gold for FreeWheeler, their Class 2 ultra low alcohol beer, and Barley Griffin, which we all know Barley Griffin, for their ale.
So do you know if that competition's like first, second, third, or is it?
It is first, second, third.
Yeah,
so
nice.
it's gold, silver, bronze. It's similar to World Beer Cup.
Yeah, nice.
And there's quite a few categories, but I don't actually remember how many there are or anything like that. But they were the only Australian brewery to score anything. You obviously don't know which Australian breweries have entered. But yeah, it's quite a populara. Fuck me, I can't even say the word. I'm going to edit that shit out. I'm going to edit that out. That's the beauty of that. There's a big clap so that I know where to.
But But that's But where was it held? Is it in the UK or is it?
I think it was in France or something.
Okay.
But it's definitely over in the. Oh no, it was in the UK.
Yeah, I think I did read something about it. Because World Beer Cup's coming up, so I think presentations on the 24th of April.
Yeah, we send our beers over.
Yeah, we sent Wee Little over. Yep. So our sort of magical child.
Yep.
I sent
a couple of beers.
That may happen, but you know,
mate,
it is what it is. You never know. Got to be in it to win it.
If Wee Little wins a gold, mate, that beer, you're gonna have to.
Oh, look, I was actually going through it last night, and I think probably won't have because it's actually, whilst there's a subcategory for light Scottish ale. Yep. It's in the Scottish ale, so they actually get first, second, third in that. Yeah, I think it may be a bit of an arse, but
I don't know, mate. It came through and won a trophy. against all the other.
Oh, it hasn't won any trophies. So we've won 2 golds at Royal
I can't
Queensland.
see it from here. That's what it is.
No,
That's
two.
why,
Yeah, well, it's our most most awarded beer, and
for
it's
a beer that we'll just throw it down on the run. May have to just dump it just to commission the brewery.
Well, that was the whole thing. We brewed that beer, picked a random style, so that because when we commissioned the brew house, we just wanted something with a low, malt, low malt kilograms.
Yep. That wasn't going to break the bank.
It wasn't going to break the bank.
But still gets you to test out all the features.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's been one of our most popular beers, and it's won, I think, 4 golds now. So
great little beer.
It is a good beer. It's really good flavour for a mid-strength. So very, very pleased with that beer, and it's sort of, it's a great story to talk to people when they come in, and you go and they want to know a bit about it, and then you can tell the whole story. This was going to be
a drain pour,
just in case. Just picked a random style, but anyway. So it just proves Daniel can brew good beer. So
yeah, well, that's why we come up here. That's why you guys sponsor us, because we love your beer. So we say that. Sometimes the conversation is what we come up for.
Yeah, exactly.
What else is coming up? Anything?
April Fools. Did we do that?
Oh no, we didn't. Yeah, we talked about it at the start, and then I saw had an April Fool. So yeah, you said, "Have I seen any good ones?"
Yeah.
And yeah, I did. So this is a thank you, Dan. Dan, no one can see this because it's not on video, but Dan's just come and delivered us some beers. Oh. It's all right. I was watching it. But this is a really good thing about this.
That's funny.
About this guy, American craft beer exec arrested for beer hyping, and they're basically saying about this poor guy. He's just talking about beer too much. He's hyping it up, and they've arrested him. They're going, "We need to stop this, nip it in the bud." And it's laid out like an actual beer story. Yeah. Got a photo of some poor guy on there. It's great. I mean,
American craft beers, Tom Boback.
But there was another post I saw on Wort Wrangler.
Yeah.
We talked about that last week. But there was a can of spaghetti, like the tin spaghetti.
Yep.
And it was breweries just getting ready for April Fools with their new labels. And just had a can of tin spaghetti. And then there was that other one with that meme of that guy hiding behind a tree where he's rubbing his hands. He's going, all the social media posts, all the social media managers for breweries getting ready to post on April 1st. I love April 1st. I didn't get to play a joke this year because it just fell on a dumb weekend. And I forgot all about it, but a mate of mine actually did say, he put up a post and he's gone, "Don't remember to change your clocks back for daylight savings time." And I was like, wait, what? we don't even have daylight savings here in Queensland. But B, it's caught me out because we're going to New South Wales, and daylight savings still on, but I know that it's next weekend. But I was like, I saw this post and it confused me. I was like, shit, wait, what?
Get all your interviews out of time. So.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's actually worked against us on the way down, and we were lucky that I had a break and a buffer, because otherwise I would have double booked us. Because Joel and I are not time travellers. We wouldn't have been able to do it.
I reckon Joel maybe. He likes his airplanes.
Yeah, it's that 90s, 50s hairstyle that he carries around,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be probably listening to this in the car with Joel as we're driving down. So, hey, Joel.
Hi, Joel. Don't critique us too bad.
Yeah, mate. And if you want to hear Joel, he'll put on an AM radio accent, and this is how he talks. ABV.
And what else is happening? And we've got a little gathering at Hiker on the 16th.
Yes,
April.
we do. You and I are really keen and interested in trying to kick on and boot up a Queensland chapter of the IBA, whether or not that comes to fruition or not. But we're doing everything we can with them to try and do that. and put some effort in to build up a little bit more communication, a little bit more support, and more about it is that we get to talk and
get
around with the breweries.
Everyone, every brewery is really busy, so we don't really get to spend a lot of time with each other. And I think just, picking each other's brains and, how do you do this? Who's your electricity through? Have you got a better rate than us? Those type of things. Just those little sort of touch points, and having that little support network, particularly with everyone sort of watching. Their budgets and things at the moment. I think it's good. Just come in, have a couple of beers and some pizzas being put on by Rowling. So thanks to Brad and Paul for that. I just think it'll be good. I think we just want to start the conversation, see if there's an appetite, and then try and.
I think it comes with information sharing, and if you can be present. And if you can be there and show a face regularly and have a time where after a while, I don't expect everything to change in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, but it's that sort of thing where if you just do something consistently and people know that it's happening, that time when they do have a problem and they do show up and that problem doesn't always get solved, but it's at least acknowledged and listened to, and you might be able to help out. That is when it becomes important, and that's when they become invested and we're like, totally. It helps to change. It helps to bring this industry forward and grow, and that's what, for me personally, that's what I love about the industry. That's why I get to do this. Why I get to do the ABV podcast, because I know so many people in the industry, and I get to talk to them, experience their beers, go and visit their tap rooms, interview them, go to BrewCon. More people, I think, know me than I know them. I'm shit with names as well. That doesn't help. But because of that, of me in that space, because I'm on videos, unfortunately, and so everyone knows my noggin. But I get to talk to a lot of cool people. And that industry is very inclusive, and they're very welcoming. I haven't yet experienced walking into a brewery and people just giving me a cold shoulder and making me feel unwelcome.
I agree, and that's the whole thing. And it's also, there's a lot of people out in there that may not know everyone or that, and it's just trying to have just a social gathering where people can actually catch up, do it. Because whenever I have a problem, I've got my little black book where ring Lee from White Lies. He's been a great mentor in regards to how to run a brewery. I ring him about random things all the time. So
don't ask him about the time I fell off his brew deck.
but it's good to, and that's what I mean. It's good to have that sort of network, and particularly there's a lot of people I still don't know in the industry, and met a lot of people through Royal Queensland Beer Awards. But it's there's change happening. New brewers coming in, brewers leaving. I think we just want to kick it off and start trying to sort of get the Southeast Queensland brewing community together. And support each other.
That's excellent. I do have another point that I forgot to mention. Soon, we're ABV, Aussie Beer Voyage, we're going to launch another podcast. It's not going to be, it might not be as regularly as weekly, fortnightly.
Depends if you survive, mate.
Can't fucking live, Jesus. Need more beer.
Is it? Yeah.
Let's have a sip of beer, we'll get that out. Aussie Beer Voyage is, we're going to start a new podcast as well, which is more sort of targeted, I guess, to home brewers and brewers themselves. Other people may find it interesting, but Max from Filter Brewing down in Sydney, and James from Esker Brewing, who both of those guys, as well as Charlie and Dan, that I worked with down in Australian Brewery when I was there, which is now Esker Brewing. Those guys, they're all legends, but me and Max and James, we've all stayed in touch, and we've got our own little Facebook group called Brews Brothers, where we send each other all sorts of shit memes and beer stuff and critique each other's beers and all that sort of stuff. We're starting our own podcast as well, another podcast through ABV Voyage, called The Brews Brothers. And basically what it is, each time we chat, we're going to pick either an ingredient, a process, a piece of equipment, some sort of brewing vernacular that we haven't touched on before, and we're all going to go away, we're all going to research it, and we're all going to find out some information and try and come back with the most unique point about it and teach each other about it. So it might be, like, could be cinema, it could be a beer style, it could be, a wort pump. Not everyone knows what these things are. They just go, that's a wort pump. We don't even know what it is. Is it a vacuum pump? What sort of pump is it? How does it work? Cinema, what is it? How does that made? What comes from cinema? Where do you use it? How do you use it? What's the history of Spec B? All of those sort of little things. Just to open up and talk about something that's just a little bit different. And so an whole entire episode will be dedicated to these. So some might be 10 minutes long, some might be 30, 40 minutes long. Yeah. We don't know yet. We're just going to do it online, see how it goes. And basically it's more just so that the three of us can share a lot of knowledge between us, because we've all worked in different fields, we've all worked in different breweries with different equipment and ingredients, and see how we go. And I'm really excited to chat to the guys and get them going. Max is fully keen about it. He's a German from a long way back. He's been brewing probably longer than anyone his age. Started super young over in Germany. He's worked at Australian Brewery, Beer Farm, and now he's obviously head brewer at Filter. James he knows more about brewing than he likes to admit, and he's rather quiet and unassuming, and he doesn't want to talk too much about beer. He thinks that he's not good enough, but he's got a lot of knowledge, and I want to extract it all. He's got his own gypsy brewing brand called Straight Arm Brewing, so it's I think it's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to launching it. It's actually on Apple Podcasts and Google and everything now. It's ready to go.
Yeah, nice.
We just don't have any episodes yet, so
cool.
We'll be starting to record that soon. So
that sounds really good.
I just love talking about beer shit, mate. And
yeah, I know.
More people I can talk to about beer.
You'll have 16 different podcasts in the next year.
Yeah, I know. So. Yeah. Don't get paid for any of them. It's just going to end up. Yeah.
All good.
Oh, sweet.
Well, I suppose I should go and put my running shoes on.
You do have to put your running shoes on, because what do you got coming up this afternoon?
We got our Huff and Guzzle trail runners. Yep. So we go and huff and then we come back and guzzle.
Yeah. I'll sit here and I'll just guzzle for you.
Yeah. I know you're part of the guzzle. So is Dan.
Yeah.
So people are starting to roll in now. So yeah. So it's getting a bit dark, but so we'll have to
Are you going to adjust the time as it goes into winter for the Huff and Guzzle?
Yeah, probably. I need to talk to Jason and just see what that is, but also
because there's no lights through the bush
so
trucks,
like
is there?
a lot of them have head torches, like the more dedicated running people. But I'm going to actually start just a hiking group.
Yep.
Probably every second Sunday afternoon, like 2:00 as it gets cooler.
Is that a bit more extreme?
No, it'll just be like a social hike.
Just a
walk and then come back and have a beer.
What's the difference between a walk, a run, or a hike?
Well, you don't run.
Yep.
A hike is like a walk. It's just a sexy name for... I suppose a hike is on dirt tracks.
Right, okay. I thought a hike like you had a backpack and you were going camping overnight and...
Oh, that too, but we'll just go for a walk, hike.
Yep.
So I'll probably do that when I get back from Europe. So
nice.
And also that's probably going to lean into, starting to look at doing a sort of brewery trek, because Kokoda, 2025. So I've been...
Yeah, see, so Kokoda to me sounds like a hike.
Yeah. So we're definitely... We want to start. I'm starting to look at dates in regards to when in 2025 we're going to launch that. I just want to give people like a good 12 months lead time. One, it's pretty expensive. Two, you've got to get pretty fit for it. And three, you've got to put up with me for 9 days. So
on that, this is something we haven't broached. We started this podcast, and at the end of this month, you're going away for 4 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yep.
I need a co-host. Dan doesn't like hearing his own voice, which is fine in a podcast because we can just record it and he doesn't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
But he'll probably step in. Joel might drop in. But if anyone else is out there
Yeah.
wants to chat beer on a Tuesday afternoon from 3:30 at Hiker, hit me up.
Yeah,
Jump on
exactly.
our Facebook group. We're not really polished. I can't remember the name of the group. ABV Group Chats, I think it is. It's if you search for Aussie Beer Voyage, it'll be on our page.
Yeah,
It'll be
so
there.
3 weeks away. So unless I like patch in from the other side of the world, which probably not.
No.
But so no.
Well, I think you and Jamie will either be hiking or drinking beer, and that'll be not
exactly.
conducive to hosting a podcast.
No, but I'll be patching him for a few things while I'm away. But definitely, looking forward to the break and like going to some Spring Fest and then Pilsen. So going to where Pilsner originates from. So and then and obviously over to run it was supposed to be a marathon, but it's now 17 kilometres.
And you're just like, I'm just going to walk that with.
Oh no, I'm going to run it.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been actually training pretty hard, like
A shuffle guzzle.
Yeah, I've been training pretty hard the last week, so trying to catch up. So 17k should be all right. I ran 8 this morning, and I'll do another 8 now. So
yeah.
But yeah, no.
I reckon that's 15 more kilometres than I've walked today.
I think it would be.
Yep. It's well, I actually do walk, and I do a lot of rollerblading. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but it's just because I just drink a lot of beer. Actually, I had a bit of a marathon over Easter. I was trying to work out how factories actually wrap chocolate Easter eggs so neatly, because what I did, I unwrapped them, and then I tried to re-wrap them again as neatly as they were wrapped, and you couldn't do it. It looks like a horrible Brussels sprout thing.
Can't.
No, I know. So I want to know the machine. I love watching how it works sort of things. Mate. It's the Easter bunny. The tooth fairy's got nothing to do with that. Does he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Disprove it. Disprove it.
I've never seen them both in the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're true.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, gotta
Legends,
go.
pour it out.
Yep.
Cheers.